Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a question that really should be simple, but instead it's got the iGaming world tied in knots. We're talking about servers, licenses, and a small island nation called Anjouan. And the answer? Well, it turns out it really depends on who you ask.
So, you're thinking about getting an Anjouan gaming license, huh? You are definitely not alone. It's kind of the new kid on the block, and it is making a ton of noise. Why? Well, it's fast, it's cheap, it's crypto-friendly. It's basically the dream license for a startup. But there's a catch. There's this one tiny detail in the fine print that is causing a whole lot of confusion.
I mean, just look at these benefits. It's pretty much a no-brainer, right? Fast, affordable, tax-free. What's not to love? Well, this is exactly where our little investigation begins. Because when you ask about one of the most basic technical requirements, the answers you get are, well, they're just plain weird.
This is the first question any tech team is going to ask. Okay, so where do our servers need to be? It seems simple, doesn't it? You'd think so. But in the world of Anjouan licensing, that one simple question somehow has three completely different answers.
And here they are, the three conflicting stories you're going to hear. Some will tell you your servers absolutely must be physically located in Anjouan. Others say, no, you just need to replicate your data there. And then you've got a third group that says, hey, you can put your servers literally anywhere you want. So what is the real story here? Let's dig into the evidence.
All right, first up, let's talk about the hardliners. These are the folks who say there's absolutely no wiggle room, zero exceptions. The rule is the rule, and it's simple. Your servers have got to be on the island, period. End of discussion.
They're not shy about it. We found source after source that lays it out in plain black and white just like this. Both the server and the player database must be located in Anjouan. There's no ambiguity there, right? No room for interpretation? It sounds like a total deal breaker.
So there you have it. The case for mandatory local hosting seems pretty strong. You've got multiple sources, all saying the same thing. If you want that Anjouan license, you better be ready to pack up your servers and move them to a tiny island in the Indian Ocean. End of story, right? Well, not quite.
Because just when you think you've got it all figured out, you stumble across a completely different narrative. A story that isn't really about physical servers at all, but about data. And this changes everything.
Now, to understand this next twist, you need to know about ALSI. Think of them as the new sheriffs in town. They're the ones actually handling the licenses. And they seem to have let's say, a unique way of looking at things.
And this is where the language starts to change. All of a sudden, we're not talking about hosting anymore. We're seeing words like replicating and mirroring. Now, this is a total game changer. It suggests your main servers could be in London or Singapore or anywhere else, just as long as you're sending a live copy of your data back to Anjouan for ALSI to keep an eye on.
Okay, so we've got two competing theories now. One says your servers have to be on the island. The other says you just need to send your data there. But what if I told you there's a third theory? One that says you don't actually have to do either of those things.
And there it is, a direct quote from a source that says flat out, no, Anjouan does not require local servers. So, now what? We literally have three completely contradictory answers to the same simple question. How is that even possible?
So how can all three of these things be true at the same time? A strict rule, a flexible rule, and no rule at all? It sounds impossible. But there's a secret to this puzzle. There's a key that unlocks the whole thing, and it has nothing to do with where your servers are physically located and everything to do with what's actually on them.
Okay, so here it is, the solution to our puzzle, the big reveal. The truth is, all three of those rules are kind of correct. They're just different ways of looking at the very same requirement.
This slide lays it out perfectly. See, the regulator in Anjouan doesn't actually care where your physical server boxes are. What they care about is being able to see your data whenever they need to for compliance checks. So, they came up with this really clever solution, data replication. You can keep your main servers wherever you want as long as you're sending a live copy of all your critical data back to them. It's kind of a win-win. And that's why we have three different answers. If you're focusing on the replicated data that's sitting on a server in Anjouan, yeah, it looks like a full hosting rule. But if you're focusing on your main operational server back home, it looks like a fully flexible rule. And if you're the tech person focusing on how it all works, you'd call it a replication rule. It really all just depends on your perspective. And hey, if you need any more proof, just follow the money. Look at the invoice. That €17,000 fee you pay every year,
It often includes a specific line item for, you guessed it, data replication services or a compliance backup. You are literally paying for the solution to this puzzle.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Is this a brilliant, flexible solution for a modern, globalized world? Or is it just a confusing mess that's bound to cause problems down the line? And what does this all say about the future of iGaming regulation? Are we heading towards a world full of clever workarounds and creative compliance? The answer to that? Well, that's a puzzle for another day.